Yo.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on, guys? What's up,
You
guys?
disappearing?
I know what kind of special effects this man got going on, boy.
Okay.
Hey,
Who
you just
dis-
never know it, Teddy Riley.
Oh, who disappeared? What's going on? I'm
Oh, I
here.
said you got special effects like your microphone disappearing and your show disappearing. You got the downtown view behind you.
Oh, you're looking at my Skype, fam. That's not what goes out.
Oh,
That's not what's going out.
okay.
That's my Skype.
I was like,
Hey,
Messed me
man.
up completely,
Yo,
bro.
I got some. I got different setups for different people. This setup
Okay.
here, this is the in studio setup. You feel me? What you
Okay.
see on Skype, that's my background when I go on professional calls. So
Oh,
yeah,
that's
man.
what it is.
That's how it goes. What's going
okay.
on, guys?
Well, man, we want to welcome everybody on in here to Kickinit316. Go ahead, please. Y'all know the routine. Please go ahead and hit that share button. We want to get the word out that we are live. We are live in the building.
We
Go
back.
ahead and hit that share button, man, so we can get some folk in here before we start this show off right.
Yo, what's going on? I haven't seen y'all in about 7 days.
Man, hey, if you can see by my eyes, brother, it's
Yo,
been a long day.
I'm gonna say
Long
this.
day,
I'm gonna
man.
go on the record, just so the people can know. Like Ted, I respect you. The hustle is real. No, real
It's
talk.
real.
Real talk. I
The hustle is
respect you.
real, brother.
And dang, if I felt like if I had a third of your drive, I'll be in the White House right now. You feel me? Just 1/3.
Hey, 45 minutes, I like that, brother.
He coming out. He can't help that. He coming out. 46 is on his way in. You feel me?
Hey, need to.
Let's share. Let's get these viewers up. I mean, we're doing pretty well. But we got to get them up a little bit more. We want to appreciate everyone who's on already, but let's share it. We have an excited show tonight, and I'm not moderating. I'm not supposed to be moderating, but I'm just filling in the dead
This is a
silence.
vibe, man. This is a vibe.
It's a
This is a
vibe.
vibe.
It's yo,
Man, big shout out to Corbin Robinson, man. This brother is faithful, man.
bro. Corbin. First of all, he's faithful for many reasons. Number one, and most importantly, why he's a fellow Buck fan. So give it up to my
He
dog.
really faithful.
Here
Hey,
we
if
go.
we win the Super Bowl this year, there's no asterisks behind it. It is what it is. We're the better team.
I
Long
really
live the
wouldn't
GOAT.
know because I'm blacking out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm blacking out too. But if it's Super Bowl, it's Super Bowl or bust. You feel me?
My brother said, yeah, he's blacking out too.
I'm blacking out too. Me too,
Are we still blacking out? I'm just
bro. We can
asking.
get into that
Man.
next week. That's a serious topic. I think I'm blacking out because until my man doesn't like he hasn't really been given a fair shot at making a roster, and so I don't believe in anybody just getting on just to get on, and all these messages, Black Lives Matter, and their affiliation with Nike and the commercials they're putting out, that really doesn't say much for me. It doesn't sway me much. I want to see my man back in an NFL uniform.
So I
Just
guess
me
the
personally.
question for me is, does he want to be back in a uniform?
I mean,
Mm,
from the workout, I think he did.
yeah, beast.
Gotcha.
But my thing is like Gio said, you going all the way around the Mulberry Bush, and the real issue is standing right there in a red jersey with number 7 on it, and that's Cap.
Yeah.
Bring my man back, and we can move forward, man. But until you bring it back, all of this, apologies and blah blah blah.
Sounding symbol.
We
The
had
Bible,
it wrong.
the
Go
Bible
get it
says the Bible calls it sounding symbols. All right, these guys are just making noise. That's all they doing.
That's all
What
it is.
what they do? We
Man,
we up to 20 family. We can get it.
let's get it, man. Once again, man, we thank you all for taking time out of your busy nights and kicking it with us, man. The three little us, man. I know the grammar's all wrong.
Hey man,
It's all
but
grammar.
you're speaking from the heart. It's a vibe.
But it's from the heart. It's
from the
all
heart.
organic, though. It's all organic.
Yeah.
Brother said
So,
the three
man,
little us.
The three little us, the us's. So let's do this, man. Let's go around the horn and let's introduce ourselves to our audience one more again.
Who's gonna go first? Ted?
Man, this is Ted, man. Like I said, it's been a long day. I'm here in Orlando.
Sleepy Ted.
Hey, happy to be
Tired
with y'all.
Ted.
Tired, but we still here, man. We keep
Grinding,
the same energy.
Ted.
Keep the same energy no matter what day it is or what's been going on. So we got to make it happen. So happy to be with y'all, man.
And the man who makes it all happen in the middle, man.
Sir.
This is your boy Gio. representing. Again, a big shout out to everyone who's watching. Gio, aka Ted Riley, aka George, a floor man, aka all the way from Canada to the bottom.
Yeah,
It's your
yeah,
boy
yeah, yeah,
Gio.
yeah.
Let's go. All right, enough
I
about
got
me.
another AKA for you, man.
Enough about
AKA
me.
no look pass. You know, I see you over there doing your production while you talking, man, with the no look. I see you,
I'm
man. You with
trying.
the
Hey, I
screens.
want to
I
say
see
thank you to you
you.
guys. You guys made it possible with all of these gifts
Hey,
that you're
man.
making to the production team.
We
Thank you
just sowing
guys.
seeds, man. We sowing
Yeah.
seeds, man. And last but not least, man, the shortest in the crew. It's me, Croc Kicks, aka Barrel Shea Croquet, aka Shea
Chef
the
the Filet.
Filet,
Come on.
Shea the Filet. And if you saw what I made on Friday on the gram, man, listen, that was my best batch of macaroni and cheese ever,
Ever?
ever,
Mm,
Ever?
ever,
Ever?
ever,
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 ever?
ever. I put some Gouda
Oh,
in
you
there.
broke out the Gouda?
Then my man's Corey, his mother-in-law came in town from New York. Had a little government cheese to put on
Mm,
my bun and cheese. I put some of that
mm,
government cheese in there.
mm.
Man, it was hitting, man. So
Wonder why Bo didn't make it to Orlando. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I'm
You know
trying to
what I'm saying?
understand.
brother, no Bowls left his house. None. But we here, man. We getting ready to get this thing started off, man. You all know we get this thing started off with our kicks, man. But before, go ahead, you can cue that up, the first shoe, man. But let's make sure, man, we go ahead and like and share, man. We want to make sure we continue to invite people in the building. Ted, man, you got this first one, man. That's coming out on August 14 at 9 a.m.
Yeah, what's this? The Air Jordan 1 Zoom,
Oh my gosh.
Zen Green.
Oh my
Somebody feeling
gosh.
that. Somebody
Yo,
feeling that.
it's in my spirit, fam.
For me,
Don't do it. Don't
so
do it.
let's just talk about it. So it's inspired by the Japanese garden. Um, it's not an OG colorway, but it's something new. They have suede materials on the upper. They say a full lift zoom air cushioning system. So this is something different that you don't normally see on Jordan 1s. It is coming out on the 14th for $175.
Cheap.
It's almost a
Mm.
it's almost for me, it's almost a what are those type shoes.
Oh,
God, this guy here
What are
talking trash.
those?
I
You,
mean,
bro.
I'm just trying to look at them again because I love ones. I really do.
Let's see what the people think. Y'all chime in.
Rock,
Go ahead, Ted.
kick it or pass it, y'all.
I mean, so
Kick
I
it or
think
pass
I
it.
think the last picture that I don't know if we have that, but the last picture that Nike and the sneakers app has up, I think it sort of makes it look a little better. It's
I
something
like
new.
I like the translucent bottoms. The translucent bottoms are tight.
Yeah, but you're not gonna see the bottoms.
No, but I'm saying for ones, they usually don't have them. I'm saying it's just
Oh yeah,
something.
no, that's what I say.
Yeah,
This is completely new territory for ones.
yeah.
So I
What you
mean,
think about the leather quality from the picture? I mean, I know it's not in
from the
hand, but what you
from the
think about
picture,
that?
it does it sort of look like it doesn't look like any of the top
Ain't no
brands.
tumble. Ain't no
Yeah,
tumble.
it
What's up
doesn't
with
look
that?
like any of the. They say it's suede. It's suede on there. So suede.
That's way a little
Suede.
butter.
It
That's way a
does.
little butter.
So it'd be interesting to see how the leather looks in hand compared to because you can look on the picture and it doesn't look good, but if it's that tumble, if it's decent tumble, then
Oh,
I can get down with it.
oh,
So, for me, man, it's too close of a
it
colorway
is.
to
But
the
you,
pine
yeah,
greens.
the
You know what I'm
now
saying?
the pine greens are legit.
So,
The
if
pine
you
greens are
don't have,
legit.
yeah, look at that tumble. Can you see that tumble?
Do it
Yeah,
again.
big hugs.
Make me see if it's butter or not. I don't see. I
And the
don't
I
thing
can't
mean,
see
is,
it.
that right there is butter. That's butter right there. That's
Yeah.
butter.
and with the ones, the more you wear them, the better they get. So
I guess that's why these ain't really broke
Hey,
in.
I
my
pull out
cousin
my
said
pine greens that either.
my cousin said he loves him because of course he's from Boston. He's from
Oh
Boston.
shit!
Oh,
They did the
I can
years of
see
Ray
that.
Allen. And you know what time it is. So he
If
loves that
but
green.
if you were looking to get your hands on the pine greens and you weren't able to, then yeah, I think this is a
Be
good shoe
susceptible.
to go for. But
Yeah.
just know bots are gonna eat this up, man.
They
I
are.
don't.
So
It's Spot City.
would you call those a hype shoe, Ted? You think this is it a hype shoe?
I don't know if it's really hype. I just know that because it's the right now nobody can really get inside the stores.
Yeah,
Everything's gonna sell, especially ones.
yeah.
Ones are gonna sell out automatically
The ones are
regardless.
just off. I
So
mean,
it's a new colorway. But so the one thing is for the people who like OG colorways, they may or may not be a part of the hype, but people are gonna want ones. And for those who couldn't get the pine greens, like Croc Kick said, it's a good substitute for them. So I mean they're gonna sell. They're not hype. I don't think they're gonna like resell for $890, but they'll definitely sell
no.
out.
This
Yeah.
is just for your consumption. It's $5 over the usual price for
Yeah,
the
regular price is 170. They
70.
used to be
Yeah,
160. They raised them to 170.
yeah.
So these are 175.
75.
So
What's up? All right, Croc Texas, you up
Yeah,
next?
man. I definitely want to knock these second ones out, man.
That's your style.
Same day, August 14, 9 a.m. The Air Presto Australia.
Mm.
They're dropping at $130. $130, man. For those of you who were around in 2000, you know what I'm saying? You remember this shoe, man. These Prestos, man, they're coming back. They're very comfortable. And this shoe, it pays tribute to Australia. This shoe was originally designed, the Presto was designed with the thinking of some runners back in 2000, some Sydney performance runners. And so here it is. You see the Australia on the tongue. You see the green and the yellow, the gold. And ladies, Prestos are definitely, it's a unisex shoe, but this is definitely a shoe that a
yeah,
woman can wear. Put a little lotion on them ankles because ankles gonna be showing, right? Put a little lotion on the ankles, but rock them, man. They're gonna look real. They'll look real nice with some leggings, some jeans that are a little short, man, or
yeah.
whatever you gotta rock.
I was trying to mine are probably downstairs somewhere. I have a pair of Prestos and they're really comfortable. I have
All that
I think
heat
the
you got.
USA man, please the USA colorway. So they're
I
very
didn't like those too
comfortable.
much, fam.
Well, I
I ain't
got
gonna
them.
hate.
I got them on discount. I got them for like $90. So
If they had a all if they had an all black Presto, then we be
oh,
talking
they
now.
do. They got all
Oh,
black.
Black on black on
they got
black.
all kind of
Yeah,
colors.
they
They got
got
all
they
kind
got
of colors.
Presto's
Yo,
probably one of those. They got every color you want.
yeah, Prestos remind me a little bit of like the Hirachis. They come out in so many different combinations.
Yeah, something different. Yeah, like who that? Gabriella.
Yeah, she loves them.
Yeah, she said nicely priced. Yes, they are
Yeah.
nicely. Like I mean, 135. I mean,
Hey, maybe we should do a Presto sell off. A Presto a giveaway. What y'all saying? What y'all about? Huh? A Presto
something.
giveaway?
That sounds good, man. What you got on it?
Like, hey, I got 1/3, baby. What's up? I got 1/3. What's up?
Moving
Presto
along, man.
Uh,
Shout out to
in the size
Vera,
12.
Vera Clemens. She says she loves these. And shout out to Vera and Josh, man. Some of my members, man. Power couple.
Pops is
Like
Hey,
my
on.
dad
Pops is
said,
on
Pop
it. Pops is
says
on
that's
it.
the shoe
Wait,
to make
hey,
Presto.
Pops on it early today.
I gotta give a shout out too to another one of my mothers over there on Robin Boucard. She's on, man. Y'all know the one. That's the one.
Yeah,
So,
that's my
so
peoples.
Okay.
Yeah, go
Yeah.
on. Yeah, all the good
man,
people.
happy
Absolutely.
to be on with us tonight, man.
All right, let's go to this next shoe real quick. Let me see if this thing is working, still working. All right. Now, this is a throwback to them days where people were balling on the hardwood, you know what I'm saying, with them canvas shoes, and they were doing the sky hooks. This
Mm-hmm.
is that 77 Great Fog.
Pops.
Yeah. The Blazer Mid. The fact that it's a Blazer Mid, I don't know if this is a throwback to Al Sender. Y'all may know him as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He played for them for a little bit, I believe, early on in his career. And I feel those. To be honest with you, my cousin is on. I don't know if you'll admit to this, but I think these is kind of shoes that James Florimon would rock.
Let
These
me
are
tell
dope.
you, those are gonna sell out faster than anything else that we talked about.
Tonight, yeah. I mean,
So what happens is that recently people have been getting heavy into blazers. So they've been
yeah,
getting heavy into blazers,
Trendy.
and they've been selling out like crazy. So those will probably sell out within minutes. So if you want them, you better put in the leg work, because I doubt they're gonna be around long.
And while I'm not really feeling this colorway, and I did read somewhere. I think this is a tribute to that street ball on Coney Island or something like that.
Gotcha.
But
Well, say Griff.
Blazers in general, man. If you're kind of so my style, I kind of name my own dress style. I call it prep hop. right? A combination of a little preppy look. You see, I got the polos button all the way up,
You know what
but
I'm
then with a little
saying?
hop to it,
Hey,
man. So
yeah,
this is, you know what I'm saying, a little prep
button all the
hop.
way up polos.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
So if you're one of those people who wear sneakers and blazers, like literally like blazers, you know, I think this is the kind of shoe that can really pull this off. And maybe not this particular colorway, but just the blazer in
wait, wait,
general is a
wait a
nice
minute.
in between shoe.
I just told him myself I didn't do adequate research on this shoe. When it said Blazers, I was thinking Blazers like the NBA franchise Blazers. You know,
Mm.
I'm man enough to admit it.
No,
Uh,
this is
hey,
yeah
bro.
that
Hey,
Man, you just making sure everybody's on their toes at the
you
end of
know,
the
yeah
I want to make
week. That's
sure.
all.
that's the silhouette. And yeah, like I said, they've been any blazer that's come out recently. They sold out quick. I mean, I don't own any blazers. I don't think I've ever owned any blazers, but they're a hype shoe right now. You talk about hype. Out of
Yo,
all these
they
shoes we
hot.
talked about,
So you could
they're
rock
hype.
these, and that's Croc Kicks is saying this is prep hot. Like you could rock these with some nice little khakis or some jeggings or
Hmm.
some little, some, and then a
Whoa,
polo
I
button
ain't
to the
got no
top.
I'm
jeggings.
about to say
I ain't got
jeggings,
no
bro.
jeggings.
You don't got no jeggings, fan?
Got no
Whoa,
Mm,
jeggings.
no jeggings over
What
here,
you
mm.
got?
bro. No
What you got
jeggings.
going on over there?
Yeah. Oh, well, hey, I'm sorry. I live in Miami. That's jeggings are a way of life. You know what I'm saying? That's how they rock them. That's how
I
they
guess
rock
there
them.
are some parts. I guess there are some parts of Miami that are doing that.
Oh
You
yeah, I
know,
don't know,
you know what
bro.
I'm
All
saying?
right, all right, all right, all
But
right, all
yeah,
right, all
man.
right.
So I would say in general, man, it's a little dry this week, man, with the releases. But like you said, these Blazers, I believe they're gonna sell out. And if you can get your hands on some Blazers, some mids or some lows, go ahead and do it. Especially if if you're trying to wear some shoes to like a church function,
With some jeggings.
and you don't want to go all the way with J's and just be all the way out there. You want to do a nice little in between. Blazers is for you. Me, I don't mind. I don't
Yeah,
mind a little
hey,
J.
rock out,
But
rock
you know
out.
what? To be honest with you guys, a lot of people have been asking for like I think we may have in the next couple of shows to expand a little bit because a lot of people are the same way. We're just keeping with the same within the same family, Nikes, so on and so forth, which is
You want to
cool.
expand?
We want to
Yeah.
expand. We I mean we can
Some Yeezys.
some Yeezys, some Pumas. I know you don't feel them Pumas,
I ain't
Croc
feeling them
Kicks.
Yeezys neither. I ain't feeling them Yeezys
Well,
I
neither.
don't think I
Yeezys.
got other Nikes. One set of Pumas, Nike or die. That's it.
That's it. You don't do.
Well, you can't say that. You can't
Hold,
say that because you got no Pumas. There's
That's
only
what I
one.
said.
hold
I
on.
said
You
I got
don't.
one.
You not
I
must.
said I got one set of Pumas.
What's up with three straps to life? Two straps to life. That's just
Who?
Bostonians. That's Adidas.
Man, nobody
Everyone
wears
from the
no
Northeast.
Adidas.
Oh man, y'all ain't talking that,
Is
man.
Some,
this what these fastest are promoting during the end times? What about the three angels message and preparing for the Sunday law?
We,
Listen, we're taking ministry to the streets. We're taking ministries to the streets. If you want the three angels, you can come to First Church. You can log in at First Church, and we'll be more than happy to bless you in that regard. We have a wonderful series Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings at 8 a.m. called First Watch. Right now, we're talking about the whole armor of Christ, of God. So
well,
join us at First Church for that.
just to be clear, I want Monica to hang out a little bit. Monica, it is called Kicking It 316, and we're just in the Kicking It section right now. So we're dealing with the Kicking It shoes, the shoe portion. When we get to the it'll get to the 316 aspect. So I want you to
But
hold on, hang on, and this is
we
a
got some
show.
316 today.
Yeah, we got some 316.
Okay.
Dame time. And I just want
Okay.
I want Monica just to understand, like real talk, that literally, we talk about mingling with people, meeting their needs, and then bidding them to follow Christ. So right now we're mingling with them. We are trying to identify with things that they identify with, and then when we have won their confidence, we're going to go ahead and give them some Jesus. So hang on, ask a question, share this video with your peoples, and let's have a good time. All right. All right. So
That's
let's go.
all. Yeah, man. So let's dive into this
Let's go to
portion,
the
man.
it.
And one of the things we've been saying, show in, show out, is we're gonna continue to say her name, man.
Yeah.
Let's go
Definitely.
ahead, man. Let's do that, man. You got the
Oh, it's
Breonna
up. It's
Taylor.
up. We good. We good.
yeah.
Production is
Oh yeah.
flowing.
Oh my bad. Production flowing. Breonna Taylor, man. It's been too long. It's been too long. Her murderers are still out there,
Yeah.
and we need to continue to say her name, man, so that recognition, and also so that the individuals who murdered this beautiful sister can be held accountable. That's all we want: justice and we want people to be held accountable. Right?
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. I think that justice is deserved in this case, and we want to keep the same energy that we started until but God's will, justice is served. And talking about justice, is interesting that we talked about this a while ago. We said that a lot of this, when it comes down to social justice, that Christians should in fact should have led out the way, should have led the way out. And it's interesting that we've had conversations about Black Lives Matter, the movement, and also the organization. And recently, Croc Kicks and Ted, we see that there was Oprah. Oprah puts out her magazine every month, and on her magazine, I hope y'all like that transition. That on her magazine
We see you.
cover usually it's always her on it, right? But for some
Hmm.
reason, not for some reason, but for appropriate reasons rather, she actually she diverted from her norm and put a different photo on her Oprah magazine, and I think we can talk about that now. I'm putting it up now. Um, I don't know how you feel about that, but I thought that was a straight up move for her to bring to awareness again the injustice in this particular case, and I guess this is her way of fighting for justice as it relates to Ms. Breonna Taylor.
I think it's like I've been saying, man. So there's something real going on in this country. People who are normally silent or not as vocal or who don't normally get it are getting it, and I think
Mm.
this is an example of somebody who, and not to say Oprah doesn't do anything. Oprah's very active and proactive in doing things, but the fact that she's willing to do something that she's never done, put somebody else on the cover of her magazine, and it's happened to be Breonna Taylor, that is huge, and I think it just is going to show that there are people who we don't normally see or expect to see stuff
Mm-hmm.
from, who are making sacrifices, and I think there's a wave happening. I don't know if y'all remember that when Obama first got in office, the Tea Party came up, and the Tea Party made all this noise because they didn't like Obama, and now the Tea Party has sort of dissolved. But at the same time, they were able to get people elected and put congressmen and congresswomen in office. I think this is something similar to what we're seeing now, where people are tired and they're going to make some noise about it. I just hope that we don't fizzle away. I hope we keep
Yeah.
this. I hope we keep the same, as Crockett like say, we keep the same energy going and going and going, because it never needs to stop. There's never a bad time to talk about social justice and getting rid of people who are trying to oppress us.
One of the things I think I've learned from this quarantine season, man, of not being able to be fully back into church, man, with everybody surrounding us, is there's so much to be done outside of the walls, man.
Exactly.
So much to be done outside of the walls. And for too long, we have measured success of our churches and ministry based upon how crowded our churches are, or how much tithe we are collecting, man. But I just think it's important for all of us to use our platforms, to use our influence to speak against injustices, man. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what Jesus did, and it is not enough. It is. I'm gonna say it again. It is not enough for us just to worship God. It ain't enough, man. But the same, if you love God, if you have agape love in you, that same love will drive us to love humanity.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
We haven't we having technical issues. They say they can only see and hear me.
Oh, really? Mic check.
Yeah. I know when I'm looking at Facebook, I can only see
Yo,
myself,
that was
but
me. I heard you talking. It said no sound. There
no
should be
sound. Can you
sound.
hear? Can you hear? Can you hear us now? Somebody
Keith,
let me
Mic
mic
know.
check
check.
So
one.
I can.
Testing one.
Hold on. I can
Can you hear
keep
now?
talking.
Yeah.
We having technical issues. They say they can only see and hear me. It's Justin say TED talk.
Hey, TED Talk, TED Talk, TED Talk. Where we at?
When I'm looking at Facebook, I can only see myself. Okay, we're back.
We're back. All
Yeah,
right.
we're
So
back.
let
Can
me
you
go
all
back.
hear us?
I
Yeah.
see what happened. I see what happened. I see what happened, fam. I'm still trying to learn this software. So when
We
It's all
appreciate.
good, brother.
We appreciate you, man. We're gonna change your
yeah.
name from Teddy Riley to I don't know. We gotta think of who
All
you're
right,
gonna be now. We're
so
gonna
let me
change your
see if I
name.
can go back to what I was saying. Basically, I was saying that this is so going back to what Ted was saying. The reality of it all is that there's something that can be said about Christians who only do Christianity for themselves. It becomes ancestral, right? And I was saying that the byproduct of incest is always something that is horrific. That's the byproduct of incest. And so the reality of it all is that as people of God, when we have this gospel, this light, it is incumbent upon us to be able to utilize what we have to make imprints in our communities. And so, yeah, keep that same energy. I'm happy Oprah is the one who's bringing light to this, but I would have loved it if there were many churches in the Kentucky area, in the Louisville area, Adventist
Hmm.
churches even,
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
who would have put up billboards and who would have made phone calls to
Yeah.
their local political leaders to say something
Yeah.
has got to get done. I would
Pressure.
have hoped that in this moment of COVID-19, where people are having church virtual anyways, that on Sabbaths, where we go out into the streets and we would hold up signs saying,
Yeah.
arrest those people who have murdered an innocent
Hmm.
person in their
Hmm.
home. So yeah, I think that uh, as Christians, God requires of us much more than just sitting back, and reviewing prophecy and diving in Bible studies, things that we should already be proficient in already as seasoned believers. That in fact that we would use what we have to make imprints in our community. So
Yeah.
that's
Also,
what I wanted to say.
you mentioned something and we didn't say it, but that she also, I believe, she
Yeah.
bought 26 billboards
Yeah.
around Louisville, Kentucky. So not only is she putting on her magazine for those who subscribe to her magazine or those who can see it, she bought 26 billboards around Louisville, Kentucky, so people can see, this is permanent in people's mind. Because a lot
Pressure.
of times out of sight, out of mind, people forget about it. But the fact that she's bought these 26 billboards around Louisville, Kentucky, that is huge. And salute to Oprah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I mean,
20,
Oprah has always done big things.
26. One for every year of her life.
Hmm.
She's applying pressure, man.
Bro, that's
And
that's dope.
yeah, it is. It is. Big shout out to Oprah, man. I've been critical of her at times past in private corners. But man, I think she really knocked this one out of the park. And I think all of us, what we're trying to do is we're trying to apply pressure, man, to the people who are in the decision making seats, man, to do the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
Apply pressure. I mean, pressure is one of the tools of the enemy, man. He uses this tool. Why can't we apply pressure also? It's a God. It's a God tool too, right? I mean, you can see. I delivered this message a little while ago, man. Things spread when people gather. Like there's something about crowds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
yeah.
the
We heard that sermon. We heard that sermon, Sabbath. We heard it. We heard
yeah,
it.
man. There's something
We
that
were there.
happens when folk gather, man. And if and it's a powerful tool. And so what Oprah is doing, man, is she's applying pressure, man. As you drive around the city, you're gonna see her face, you're gonna see her name, man. So big shout out to Oprah. And if we all can continue to use our platforms and our influence to do what maybe even is uncomfortable,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it'll go a long way.
And again, I can appreciate Monica's point. I do think there is time and place for Bible study, and we need to be talking about the mark of the beast. Like I don't think any one of us here today who is sitting on this platform, even Ted, who is no longer in ministry, but God has opened up a new realm of ministry for him in his new walk of life, believe that there is a time and place to have these discussions. And these
Sure.
discussions we have, I mean, personally in my church, every Sabbath we have Bible studies. Like we have deep Bible studies, right? Every Sabbath we have Bible studies. But a part of what we study, a part of the Bible studies is also to make us aware that we also have a responsibility to go out into the world and change our community, right? And so I agree. But tonight's show is not necessarily based. It's not supposed. It's not. It's not. It wasn't created for a Bible study. Tonight's show is my and Ted and Croc Kicks opportunity to reach out beyond the walls of the church. And I'm going back to what Job said. We're reaching out beyond the doors of the church and the walls of the church to reach to where the people are, to see if we
Yeah.
can touch their hearts and their minds, and then also bid them to follow Christ.
And I want to say this, and I want us to continue to move. But everybody's question is important to us. Everybody who takes time out of their day to kick it with us, that's important to us. Two of us are pastors, and each of us, myself and Gio, we're pastors. And
All of us are
if
pastors, B.
uh,
No, we'll.
I'll
I'm,
let
I'm, I'm,
you,
I'm being real. I'm being real. I
Uh,
mean,
yeah, I mean, it was
I mean, we
employed by the church.
by
okay.
I
So
think that's what
education,
she's
all three
asking.
of us are, yes.
But yes, and so and there's different ministry opportunities. Geo, he has a page called the Quarantine Preacher. He also streams virtually for his church, and literally, like I said, every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday at First Seventh Day Adventist Church, you can see myself and my pastoral staff. I'm one of the pastors there, breaking down various things. This is more of a contemporary ministry and just a free space to talk and to dialogue and to look at things from a Christian perspective. Now, man, we've said her name. I think it's important that we continue to say her name. But there's a hot topic that's going on right now in society, man,
Mm-hmm.
as schools are opening up the to open or to close, to
mm,
open or to close, man. Schools, churches, businesses, what should be going on right now in the midst of this pandemic, man? To open or to close. What's your thoughts? And you all in the comment section, let us know what you think also.
yo,
Well, I
go
know
ahead.
for me,
Go
I
ahead, Ted.
have, y'all still have young sons. My boys are school age, so they're in school. For me, my boys attend private school, and the principal sent out a message asking the parents how do they feel about school opening, and my immediate reply was I don't think schools should be open. I think that if anything, there should be virtual school. And I went on, and gave my opinion on it. A few days later, he sent out another email saying that they were going to do virtual as a virtual option. And I'm not saying this because say I had anything to do with it, but that's been my opinion. And I understand the argument of people saying some people have to go to work and they can't, they can't afford to send their kids to not send their kids to school. But then the argument, another argument you can look at is okay, so then you send your kids to school, they contract COVID,
Mhm.
and then you have to stay at home with them, or you see your kids at school that contract COVID and you get COVID and now you have to stay home because you have COVID. So to me, it's I think there has to be some type of middle ground. Some of us are fortunate. My mom is retired. My stepdad's retired, so they can stay home and help the kids, virtually with virtual school. So people don't have that luxury. So I can understand the concern. But my thing is, if you're going to send the kids back to school, there has to be a solid plan in place.
Mm.
Questions I ask. Number one, how do we make sure these kids are social distancing? Number two, what do we do in the event that somebody tests positive for COVID? Is the school going to provide testing opportunities for these parents to have the kids tested? These tests are upward of $120 sometimes. If a parent can afford to keep the student at home, can they afford to pay for this test? Number three, if we find out that a teacher has tested positive for COVID, then what happens then? These are questions that have not been answered. So we can rush and say, yeah, we got to get the kids in school, we got to get the kids in school. But are we making plans to prevent or to protect them as best as possible? And from what I've seen, the answers I've gotten, the answer is no.
Yo, and that's actually a very, like, I think you probably covered it all. I don't even know what I'm speaking now because you just said everything I was going to say. But since this is an opinionated show, I got to give my two pieces. Is that all
Yeah, of
right?
course.
But definitely, like even so today, me and Crocs were talking about. I don't know if you want to. Do you mind? Yeah, yeah. Croc Kicks and I were talking because his son and my son are around the same age, and his son is in school, and we have been on my from my perspective, my wife and I have been able to keep our son at home. But anyone who knows a 2 year old 24/7, like it comes a time where you got to be like, yo, it's time for him to go to school. Like, and we've reached that limit. Like, I think we've taught him as much as we can. He knows his colors. He knows all the things that a 2 year old should know. He can speak very well. But I think that we figured it's better for him to go to school. And just talking to Croc Kicks and his concern from the other side of the fence, his kid being in school, his son being in school, he was sharing with me the perspective that even if the danger is relatively small, the fact that there is a danger there means a lot, right? And
Exactly.
and, and as a parent, number one, as a parent, I will gladly sacrifice my life for the well being of my son. That goes without saying. But at the same
Hmm.
time, you want to make sure that your children are not put in a precarious situation where they could possibly get sick. You hear someone say 45 or 46 minus one, say,
55
uh,
minus 10.
say the kids, he gives this sweeping, statements that kids don't, aren't really successful to catching it, and if they do, they're not transmitters of it. And no science backing those statements up, just a matter of fact statement that he makes from his perspective. And I think that as a parent, I just want to know what the science says. Like, I'm confused. I'm not a scientist. My wife is. I'm not. So at the end of the day, I need to find out. Like, show me on paper. Like, what is it?
This guy.
Yeah. He's
I
putting
don't.
some. He's putting
I
some.
don't think. Go ahead, Crockett. I already spoke.
So,
I'm passionate about this one.
Vera said something, and I want to read her comment, and I agree with everybody's comment above so far, but I do want to just reiterate what she says. She says closing schools is easy, but this is rough for us parents.
Mhm,
It's
that's what
easy
I'm
to say
saying.
close, but I do see the other side. And
Yeah.
the reason why I agree with that is because unless the local government or the state government or the federal government is going to mandate that jobs are closed except for essential workers, then you put parents in a very touchy and rough spot because they got to go to work,
Yeah.
you know? And so they go to work. Who watches their kids? And some individuals are essential workers, nurses
Hmm.
who
Hmm.
are working overnight or 12-hour shifts. You know, who's going to watch their child? And yeah, there's been some packages and some plans that have been made available to us as far as mortgage protections, things of that sort. But it's a real difficult decision for some people. I will also say this: when this first thing opened up, man, I was like, shut everything down, and I do think we should. I do think we
Hmm.
should. Um, but also, when you realize that there's not enough support, there's not enough aid for
Of course
people
not.
to really survive, and you're in a position to you're a hirer or a firer, and you got to call somebody in the office and you got to tell them, listen, I got to send you home. I got to terminate you.
Mhm.
And the reason why I'm having to terminate you is because money's not coming in. It's difficult, man, when people's livelihoods are in your hands. And of course, safety comes first. But if the government isn't mandating these businesses close, then you're really putting parents who have to work, who don't have support or family support. You may have some friends that are willing to watch your child, but that's not quarantining either. So it's just
Yeah.
really a pickle that we're in. And I want to point the blame back to the government Like a $1,200 check isn't suffice. It's not suffice. We should have been getting more aid than this, and we should have, and things should have been shut down a while ago.
You know,
On top of that,
can I just? I mean, I'm sorry, Ted.
go ahead.
Let me just say this one thing, because it's clear that from the span of three, I'm more the more right leaning type of person. I don't know why it is, but my
'Cause
just
we know what news you watch all day.
yeah, I do subscribe to Fox News. All right, it's all good. Put it out there. Put it out there. But
He
let me just say
kidding. He
this.
kidding, y'all. He kidding. He
But let me say
made
let
you
me
look.
but let me just say this. But where's the government getting this money from?
This the
Yeah.
same way as a person that worked for Department of Defense contractors,
Tell me,
where the
dog.
government where I've worked on contract negotiated contracts where the government will pay hundreds of millions of dollars for one weapon.
Mm.
When the government wants to find money, they'll find money. And I think it goes to the point of this. If you say we have to open schools, then you need to have a plan in place. It's just like somebody else said, and I said it too. There's more questions than there are answers. If you're going to open school, fine. So let's put together a plan. We say, hey, we're gonna go out. We're gonna survey the parents who say, I need my kids to be in school. Okay, we know that if it's a school out of 2,000, there are 500 parents say I need my kids to be in school. Okay, rather than shoving 30 kids in each class, I'm going to put 7 kids in each class. We're going to utilize the gym. We're going to utilize the cafeteria. These kids are going to be sectioned off 6 feet apart in the areas where they're going to eat. They're going to do their classwork. When it's time to go, we're going to X them out in orderly fashion. Schools are going to be provided with 1,000 COVID tests. Something we need plans in place other than saying just send the kids back to school. And because they're kids, they're not going to transmit it. We don't know that's BS, because if your kid is in that 1%, you don't want your kid to be in that 1%. So don't tell me it's a small percentage. Whatever that percentage is, I don't want my children to be in that percentage. So put a plan in place. It's not, to me, it's not rocket science. If you're going to send them there, then just put a
For
plan in
something, I
place.
agree. And then
I got some numbers.
can I just say that? Yeah, I want to
Sure,
do
go
your
ahead.
numbers.
Sure, go
I
ahead.
just want
Go
to
ahead.
clarify when Ted said BS, he meant bean soup. But go ahead, Carl. Bean soup.
So in the UK, this stimulus package is 80% of workers' salaries. Denmark was 75% of the workers' salary.
Mm.
South Korea was 70% of the workers' salary. The Netherlands, 90% of the workers' salaries. Canada, your homeland, $2,000 per
Yo,
month.
they banking over there.
Australia, 1K per month. US, so far, one time $1,200 check that may take months to arrive.
Oh, that's good. Let me just do this. I know we have a few teachers. Christy Floyd, one of my former members. What's up, Christy? Shout out. Man, she made ministry really good in Lakeland. She's a teacher, and she's talking about a reality that already there's a shortage of teachers just without COVID, right? So now you throw
You know
COVID.
why?
Because they ain't paid.
They're not paying. Yeah. So
So
now,
that's what my thing.
so
Put
now you throw.
resources there.
Yeah, so now you throw COVID into it, and then like you literally asking these teachers or the whole school or the educational system to make bricks without straws. How can that be? Like, how can that be?
So that goes back to the point. The government spends billions of dollars a year in defense. Billions of dollars a year in defense for preparing for in the event that if maybe we have a war, or preparing for any event if maybe that we may have to defend ourselves. When we are lacking behind, we can spend the whole 2 weeks talking about how
Yeah.
our education system is lacking anyways. So why not? There are two people that everybody has to see. You got to see, or three people: a doctor when you're born, a teacher throughout your life, and a pastor when you die. So why not put resources behind the education system? Why is it why isn't is not a teacher's salary starting at 70,000? Why is it starting at forty
Yeah.
thousand? These are common sense things that
Yeah.
if we really value education, if we really value the system, then we put money behind it.
I think what you're saying is true. Is your money where like is in anything like even church where you allocate your budget is where your interests are. We say we want to be about evangelism, but 80% of the budget is in house, right? So I get what you're saying clearly. Monica Pierre again, she has some good points. She talks about special needs students. Special needs students, some special needs students need special care that you're not really that some people parents aren't able to give to their children. That's good. And then there's also low income families who children rely on school free lunch to be able to have adequate diet, eat every
and
day.
that
And
and that
then the third thing she said is there's something like in Florida. Well, Ted and I are both from Florida, and I don't know if I can agree with that fully, but she's saying that some schools, I want to say some schools in Florida are implementing safety measures um, in order for kids to come back. And so to all those things, I want to say this: that when people say they're implementing, what they're saying and what they're doing are always two different things. Job talked about the school in Georgia, right? That supposedly had implemented safety measures for schools to come back, and then and we have the photo here. The photo that with all this implementation, you turn around and have a hallway that is literally packed with kids. And out of that school, I believe that nine students have already tested positive for COVID-19. And so, what people say they're doing for preparation versus what they're actually doing are two different things. And again, this is a novel virus. I don't know that we really even know what to do to prepare in order for us to have schools. I'm talking about schools that have over 1,000 people, students attending every day. But to her former point, and I don't know if maybe Ted and Croc can speak to that, I do realize that some children do have special needs. Now, that's a fact. We can't get
yeah,
around that. How would we go about dealing with that?
yeah. And I've worked in education. I worked at schools from elementary to high school to college actually. So I've been in there. Special needs, so you have some special needs students who are in the classroom. Those classrooms are usually smaller. They're smaller classrooms just because they need more attention. But and it just goes back to the point. If you see there's a need, then put your money where your mouth is. If you feel like we need more teachers, I would say okay, we're gonna
But we
pay
said put who you talking about? You talking about the government
the
or
Government.
the
government.
okay
Government, yeah,
Government.
yeah.
yeah
So I
Yeah.
want to be clear. This isn't
a
a
local state thing.
this
Mm.
isn't a it this isn't a pronouncement against teachers that teachers aren't doing enough because I've been a teacher. I've had to use my own money to buy school supplies. I've done all that stuff. So I understand that. This is a thing where I'm saying that these people who sit at the big tables, who get the big checks,
Mm,
these people who sit in the state, who sit at the federal government, these people need to be putting their money where their mouth is. If you care that much about education, then put some money behind education.
yeah.
It's beyond time, and especially in an instance like this is your opportunity to shine. If you want to get reelected, say, hey, I gave teachers a 20% pay increase, and I made sure that we had enough teachers, and I put systems in place. I made
Hmm.
sure that every school in Florida had 1,000 COVID tests.
Yeah.
I made sure every school in Florida had a plan to how they can seek their
Yeah.
students. I went around each school zone or
District.
whatever district. That's
District.
what I'm
Yeah.
thinking about. And I met with the superintendent. I said, hey, let's put a plan in place. How are we going to sit 2,000 students at this school, another 1,000 students at this school? Do some actual work besides sitting behind a desk and collecting a check, and then blame it on the teacher, saying the teachers are responsible.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's real.
So
Moderator.
yeah. So I do want to point out Jen Patterson. She made a good point that if teachers get sick, subs will be needed to fill those spaces because of the lack of strategy. It will be difficult to staff these areas, which is spot on. It goes back to the plan, and personally, I believe state, local, federal government needs to come in, mandate a shutdown, and we need to adhere to it. And then they also need to give aid. I mean, I know it's difficult, man, but you're down in Miami, man. And I saw a picture of a beach in Miami on today, man. That joint was
Hey, it's
lit like
lit.
there was no such thing
It's
as
lit. It's
Corona.
lit. Listen, hey, Miami. For Miami people, it must be all the beans we eat. We don't think about coronavirus out here. Like literally.
Until they catch you.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm staying in my house, fam. I'm in my house.
So, hey, so we talked about schools, but what do y'all think about churches?
Oh, don't touch that, because this
Yes,
is
I mean, what
because
do you
my
think
church
about?
my church just sponsor a part of this
Ooh.
a part of this show. I am being sponsored by West Park. But let me just say this: my church, I told them straight out the gate, like my concern is for your health, right? and and in every church the spectrum of believers is wide, and I love it and I appreciate it. That's what makes Christianity what it is. You have people who are very ultra conservative, you have people who are very progressive, and the ultra conservative, no matter what the case is, they want the church to remain open. And then you have the progressives, some who may say, that you're looking at science and being that science is created by God, and looking at that, looking at some of the real data and saying that it may not be time to open up. So for me, what we've done is we have just said, okay, we have, before it even, God would have it so that before we even went into COVID restrictions in the beginning of the year, we did a series on "This is the Church, We Are the Church," talking about the people, talking about the movement, not necessarily the building. And that platform, that foundation was already there, so that when COVID hit, as it were, we were able to really, literally transition from the physical building to the building in all of our homes, and literally we became this church scattered every Sabbath. And let me just say this to you: the opportunities of technology. We in our church, we have a membership of over 300 people, but to be honest, on a good Sabbath, we have about 250 people that show up. But now, if you look at our streaming, sometimes we're hitting 1,000 plus, right? So our ministry is doing more outside of the church walls than we did when we were actually inside of the church walls. And so,
As it
um,
should be.
yeah. So
Yeah.
for me, I don't know. I see the benefits of being outside, and then it gives us the true meaning of Sabbath as a Sabbath keeper, right? I don't know who's a Sabbath keeper or not, but I'm a Sabbath keeper, and I believe that Sabbath was made for the man to rest and to commune with his God. Right. And as Adventist people and as a pastor, I may be guilty of this, but we have turned Sabbath into the busiest day of the week. From 8 o'clock in the morning to sometimes 7 p.m., I'm up running from different prayer meetings to dealing with people, and that's not what Sabbath was meant to be, right? Sabbath was meant to be a day where we could come together and to reflect on God, and to have and to be ushered into this rest. And so, I don't want to get too churchy because y'all don't pay me for that, but I'm just saying that's that's
let me
that's my take on it.
let me dive in here for a second, man. Man, our church, we never closed. I mean, the
That's what's
Mm.
doors
up.
closed. The doors closed. But church continued. And I remember when word was, and so let me make sure I say that correctly. Understand, we're not having corporate worship, but ministry continued. It
Yes,
never
sir. Yes,
stopped
sir.
at First Church in Huntsville. I remember like yesterday the meeting when we were getting word down that things were going to shut down, and we were realizing that we were going to have to go virtual. And we were sitting in there as a staff, and we could have easily decided to take the easy route, go home and to do minimum. But man, under the leadership of our senior pastor, man, we launched First Watch, and for it had to be about 100 days. Every morning at 8 a.m. we were on, and folk were logging in. They were learning more about Jesus than they had learned before because of the amount of content we were putting out there, and people were forced. They were forced to stay home. They were forced to choose, and they chose to view our ministries, man. And we're no longer doing it every morning, but now 3 days a week. And we're
Mm.
talking about prophecy. We're talking about latter rain. We're talking about the armor of God. We're talking about
Hmm.
the ten virgins, the foolish and the wise. We're talking about all this stuff throughout the week, and people are getting exposed to the doctrines and the truths that ordinarily they wouldn't have been able to. And also our food distribution, our food giveaway has taken off. Our food distribution has doubled since we've been closed. So one thing throughout the course of history and throughout scripture, this is not the first time access to the sanctuary was limited. All right. It's happened before. But what we have to do is recognize that wherever we are, the Spirit of God tabernacles with us. That is our sanctuary. We just gotta continue to do what we're doing, man. It's not safe at this point. You just changed the colors, man. I see you, Gio. It's not safe at this point for us to come back. We know how we are as a people. We like to sing,
Yeah.
right?
Like
That's a
to
super
hug,
spread, you know. So we gotta be cautious. We
play
have to
instruments.
continue, right? Trumpets and saxophones, just spraying COVID everywhere. But we have to continue to spread the gospel in the way in which is safe.
If I could just hit it with one point, one of my law school classmates, She told me the other day. She said, "I've attended church more now
Mm,
through the virtual thing than I have attended church in years." And to me, that's a testament to what pushing ministry beyond what it normally is has impacted the church and the unchurched. So
bro.
I think it has made people. I think it has made church and ministry make ministry become more relevant.
But
So
can I say this, Ted? I'm averaging 50 people. I know that's not a lot, but on Wednesday night prayer meeting,
It
I,
is.
I couldn't get
that is because
50.
you don't get that many people in your church on Wednesday
I
night.
couldn't get 50 in a month before. I'm getting 50. And so my challenge is now how I'm gonna tell the people going back, because the reality is all that you have people who are coming home from work, coming home from school, they just can't make it. They have to go feed their children. They just don't have the time to go home and come to church. We're no longer living in the times where churches were within communities. People are commuting to church, right? So all these things that the demographics of church have changed, and a lot of times we don't change with the demographics. And
Yeah.
so the reality of it all is now that this COVID has forced us to change, I'm seeing people that are, who some of us would have thought if Wednesday night prayer meeting was a sign of salvation, we thought that most of our people might have been lost. But the reality of it all is that's not the case. That there are people who just couldn't make it, and now we're averaging close to 50 every Wednesday night. I mean, that's a blessing. And it's just a regular phone call, a regular phone line, you know? And
Mhm.
so God is good,
So
bro.
so in other words, keep church closed right now.
Hey,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have no problems.
Yeah.
I have no
Jennifer
problems with that.
Patterson said it best. It's okay to change. I agree with that 1,000%. It's okay to change. It's okay to do things differently. Not a
Man.
problem at all.
Man.
All right.
All right.
Yeah,
And
let's.
man, the time is getting away from us,
Yo,
man. So let's hit these next two topics
this one's gonna be
briefly.
fast. Yeah, you don't
Yeah,
be a
go
long
ahead,
one.
Gio. Lead us into it,
All right,
man.
so Dame time. Y'all who watch
Game time.
basketball know about Damian Lillard and Paul George. I call him Dame. He has this thing where he hits a shot and he touches his wrist and reminds people what time it is. It's Dame time. So last year, just to bring everybody up, last year when was it last year or 2 years ago when Paul George was playing with OKC. I think it was the playoffs last
I
shot of
feel
the
like that
game.
was last year.
It was
Yeah.
Yeah,
last year.
last
Okay,
year.
yeah. So last shot of the game, literally the last. I think it was the time is running out. Is 1:15 or 1:15, and Dame is about 40 feet away from the basket. I don't know if anyone
He
can knows.
deep. He
Yeah, he's
deep.
deep.
He
He's,
deep.
he's
He
like literally
deep.
he's next to
To
the
the
half court
emblem.
to the half
Yeah.
court
To the emblem.
exactly. Yeah, and so he pulls up and takes this shot. And they win, and they move on to the next round, and the story is made. Like literally, we know he was good, but now this is next level good, right? So moving forward to 2020. All right, so we're now down in a bubble. Paul George, a Swish team. He's joined a super team. Come on, let's talk about it. He's missed. He's done the LeBron. He's done the what else? Who else did it? Your boy from
Kevin
KD.
he did the
Durant.
Karen Durant. He goes to the LA Clippers. To a certain extent, is already stacked team, and so he's there. And they played, I think, 2 or 3 days ago, and the game was a tied game. And if he just hits one, listen to this: if he just hits one free throw, right,
Yeah.
they win the game. And the brother missed both of them.
Yeah.
And as a result, the bench, the people on the bench, Patrick Beverly, Paul George, all these guys started making fun of him. They're waving at him. They're saying, they're saying Dame time, like what time it is.
Yeah.
And so as I looked at that, I was talking to the production in pre-production. I would say, man, there are people who, when they see you succeed, they literally wait for you to fail so that they can tell you that you're a failure.
Hmm.
And
That's real life.
I don't know if y'all have ever experienced that, whether it's in a church setting or whether it's in your work setting or even just in your family setting. There literally are people who will, wait for you to fail just so they can tell you that you're a failure. But what I like about Dame Lillard is that even though he he messed up, he lost the game. The next night it was do or die. Like if he loses a game, his team is out of the playoffs and they can pack up and go back home to Portland. Do you know that brother hit 51 points, a game removed from missing two free throws to ice
Yeah.
the game? He comes back around and hits 51 points to win the game and to
Yeah.
propel his team into the playoffs. And so this segment for the next 2 or 3 minutes is really just about performing under pressure, right? Showing your enemies that you can see that you still got it, that whatever God put in you, you still have it. What do you guys think?
Yeah. Man, it's a big shot, man. It was last year. It was a big shot he hit, and then to taunt. And it wasn't the only shot he hit, and I think in the playoffs, I think he sent the Rockets home too, didn't he?
Yeah,
Yep.
So he had been hitting these daggers, man. And when you draw attention to yourself, right? You draw
yeah,
attention to yourself. It was a big shot, but when you doing Dame time, like
yeah.
you're asking for criticism,
That's true.
right? And you can't be ultra sensitive when criticism
Come your
comes.
way.
So yeah, Paul George is going to chirp back. You sent him home, and you sent him home, and you chirp, you talk, you right. So yeah, when you miss 2 free throws, they're free, right? They're free. You're supposed to hit them, right? You miss 2 of them, yeah, they're gonna chirp, And I heard with Patrick Beverly that while Dame was playing, he made a gesture to Pat and pretty much told him, "Listen, I wish you were out here. I really want to be hooping against you." So if you chirping, you got to hit the free throws.
You got to make it
But
happen.
having said that, Dame is still a bad boy.
Yeah.
And like you said, there are people who are going to wait to talk about everything, and there ain't much to talk about right now. Ain't much going on. So yeah, this is gonna be on the news. It's gonna run this cycle, man.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, man, big time players, they step up when it matters. And Dame, he big time.
I mean, I think, you know, even beyond that, like you said, Gio, you're talking earlier, there are people who will watch you and wait. They're watching and waiting for you to fail. No matter how much good things you do, if you can post 20 pictures on social media of your family doing well, you doing well, everything going well. They won't ever like one picture.
Mm-hmm.
But let somebody post something bad about you, and they'll be all over it,
Yeah.
liking, loving, talking about. I knew
Commenting.
it. I knew it. I knew it.
Yeah.
Commenting. Yeah. So there are people who waiting for you to fail. I don't. I tell people all the time, if I have haters, I don't know them, because I just don't.
Mm.
I don't pay them any attention. So I really don't. I honestly don't know
Got blinders.
if I have haters or who they are. I have
Yeah, you
no
got
idea
blinders.
because I don't care.
Yeah.
I can't
up?
be. I can't give them any energy, so I don't know and I don't care. So I mean, I think that's what you got to look at. I mean, Dame, like Crockett said, Dame talk. He was talking, so he got to step up. I mean, missing 2 free throws. I mean, I get on LeBron about the same thing. You can't afford to miss free throws when the game's on the line.
Yeah.
Especially when you're talking smack. So,
Yeah.
but I
We
mean,
supposed to be GOAT.
exactly, it is what it is.
It is what it is. Let's go to the.
Yo,
you got
man,
it.
I know the time is running out, man, but this next topic, man,
It's
Gio, man,
fire.
go ahead,
It's
man.
it's fire. Listen,
Gio gonna say yes.
I hate to do my man like that. I'm not talking about 4 or 5. I'm talking about my president from down in Oakwood. But so I found this little photo, and I want to ask: is this fact or fiction? This is where y'all can come in and help us out. Fact or yeah? There's a delay. There's a delay, so y'all not getting it. Is this fact or fiction? Right? I cropped out the face and the name of this person, but this is his tweet. You can go to the White House or even his personal tweet. This is his tweet. He says, "My admin has done more for the black
Oh
community
man, you could have
than
found a better. You could have found another picture, man.
than any president since Abraham Lincoln. This is what he says he's done. He's passed opportunity zones with Senator Tim Scott from South Carolina, guaranteed funding for HBCUs. That's why I have this picture here.
Which
School
it didn't
choice,
get.
passed criminal justice reform. Okay, lowest black unemployment, poverty, and crime rates in history. What say ye? What's up?
Number one.
Where the people at?
Oh, you gonna wait for them to chime in?
I want them to chime in. You can. I mean, Ted. This is your neck
Go
of the
ahead,
woods.
go
Do your
ahead, go
thing,
ahead.
fam.
From my understanding, the HBCUs didn't get this guaranteed funding that him and Omarosa was talking about. I was trying to look at the thing, but it went away.
Let me put it back up for you, fam. I know. Go ahead and speak. I'll put it back up.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it to come back up. Yeah, he does 100% believe he has, but so let's break this down. Number
Shout out to my
one,
sister.
number one, you can believe that you've done something. That doesn't mean that is true. Number two, if the people who you say you've done something for don't feel it, then it's not true.
Mm.
Number three, if you only done certain things in order to say you've done them, then what does it matter? I think, like I said, I can't speak 100% to all this, but I know for sure HBCUs didn't get all that funding because it was something him and Omarosa was working on. They getting all that didn't get all that funding. School choice, I don't really know how many people have been impacted by that.
The
Um,
next one is false. Is
Past criminal justice reform, yes, that's definitely that's
categorically for because
yeah,
commuting sentences and freeing people from
it's not
incarceration
criminal justice
is
reform.
not criminal justice reform. Like, what are we talking about now? Come on, let's be serious. We're talking about sweeping legislation that deal with the systemic issue of how people of color are treated by the justice system. Right? They haven't done that.
Yeah,
They're getting ready to legalize marijuana in most of these states, and you still have people who are doing hard time for the sale of marijuana, right? So before you can even talk about you did that, you got to put. I got to see it. I'm sorry. I'm
The
from Missouri. Show me, baby. Show me.
what I would say, man, is I think from a strategic standpoint, the Republican Party is light years ahead of the Democratic Party.
I agree with
Okay,
that.
I hear that.
And I believe what is going on here is Trump is appealing to some black males. Um, some of the things that he is signing and some of the language that he is using, economy and HBCUs, so that that percentage can rise of black males who will follow him. And it's documented, I believe. They're I think they're trying to get. I think I read somewhere they're trying to get 20% of the black male vote. And I think right now they're polling at like 15. 15. They know they're not going to get the sisters. The sisters ain't going that way,
They
hands
hold us
down.
down. They hold us
And
down.
so,
Hmm.
and so, if you say you're doing this, you say you're doing that, and there are numbers. There are numbers. Well, we all know you can make numbers say almost anything you want them to
Hmm.
say. Like one of the things that the numbers are saying now is that we are at the lowest unemployment rate, especially for blacks, in the history of presidents or what have you, right? And it's true, right? But if you look at the trend, the unemployment rate has been decreasing year by year, going back to 2010.
Since Obama was in
Yeah.
office, so
So
it's a trickle down effect of what
that's
was
all
already
it
there. Yep.
is. That's all it
So
is.
so
We
so
were
you say,
coming out of.
so you're saying to me
Go
that
ahead.
he's taking credit again for something that he hasn't necessarily done, but someone
Of
else has done. All
course.
right.
Well, all presidents do that.
But that's true.
Yeah.
But
All
this
presidents,
but this one
just
is
like he
this,
signed
this, this one
the HBCU.
this one has gone Super Saiyan in doing this. Like, he's on another level. You
Yeah.
know.
He
I
he
don't.
said he said Obama didn't do anything, and
That's
he
the
did
problem.
everything.
That's
I
what I'm
don't
He
have
did
a
saying.
problem
everything.
taking credit. I don't have a problem taking credit for what is happening in his tenure. But you don't have to. You
Denigrate
don't
the
have
firm.
to correct.
Yeah.
Like you signed the bill, you signed the HBCU bill, so that happens underneath your watch. You get credit for it, right? But in the same sentence, on one hand, you're signing this bill to give money to HBCUs, but you're taking away Pell grants, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Then in the same sentence, in the next sentence, you're dead set against the Black Lives Matter movement, right? And we're not even talking about the organization because some people may have their issues with the organization, but what
Well
about the
founded.
movement?
Well
What
founded. But
about
yeah. Hmm.
what about correct? But what about the movement, right? So there's no excuse for it. So it's all a strategy. It's all a strategy to just get enough people to drink the Kool-Aid,
Yeah.
I
right?
put it like
Uh,
I put it like this, just to add on to what you're saying. Slave masters fed their slaves. They gave them a place to live, but
oof.
they were still slaves.
Phew.
And all Trump is doing is saying I'm doing these things, but I still don't see y'all as nothing. Because just the other day he was saying how the Confederate flag is heritage, and he don't
Yeah.
understand why. And then when somebody asks him, would you rename the base, or what are we gonna rename it, Reverend Al Sharpton? That just goes to show you what he thinks about black people. So
Why
y'all,
not? Why
if
not?
people want to drink the Kool-Aid and fall for his stuff based on the fact that he's giving them something, he gave them a $20 check, then I mean, then y'all superficial anyways. You don't you can't digest the seriousness of the moment, because all it is to you is pennies and dollars. And if any, and that goes for not just black people, if anybody, if you're willing to support a racist because he made your pockets fatter, then to me
Mm.
you're just as big of a racist as a person you're supporting. So
Can I just say this real quick though? Um, because I shared this in pre-production with Croc Hicks. Um, just because you're doing things for people does not mean that you're wishing them well, right?
yep,
You can't buy affection with gifts. What he's doing is basically what Republicans have accused Democrats of doing for years, of just giving things to the black community so that we can see that we're with you, right?
yep,
Because at the end of the day, you've got to be able to uplift someone's them mentally and emotionally, make them feel like you're with them. Black people aren't crazy. You don't have such a low rating amongst a group of people just for no reason. There's got to be a reason why 80% of African Americans really just don't mess with you. They're not. It's not that we're crazy. Is that we can't trust you. And number one, number two, the things that you say have injured us emotionally and
exactly.
sometimes even physically. So that's what it is, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I see Vera. She says, what gets me the most are the so-called evangelicals that are voting for him. Are you reading the same Bible I am?
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's real. That's real. And I want to say something. Like he doesn't need all black votes. He just needs a small percentage
Well,
Can I correct?
and then a small percentage of us not to show up.
And I hate to say, I'm not correcting you, but I want to just say something. Correction. It's not so much that we voting for him. I'm looking at this. Well, I hope this brother doesn't get on the ballot anywhere else. But this whole Kanye thing that we poo-hooed a few shows ago, this thing is serious now because in certain states he's pulling like to 2%. So it's not even so much that people are from our community might vote for him. Is that there are people from our community that might vote for Kanye West, and you have people like your boy from what's his name, Nick Cannon, talking about he's gonna vote for this guy. Like, let's be serious. And I'm looking at Job. Job said it best. It sucks that we're living in a two-party system where we literally have to vote for the lesser of two evils.
It's
Um,
true.
but this is how it is. I mean, this is how it
Yeah.
is.
I,
And no, go ahead. Go ahead, Ted.
I got a good solution for that, Job. So what we do is this: we get the greater of two evils out of office this year. In 4 years, within 4 years' time, we get together, put together some type of thing to where we find another party to replace the lesser of two evils, who's Joe Biden in 4 years. But the point is, we got to get the greater of two evils out of the office first. Not voting isn't going to help. Voting for Kanye West isn't going to help. Writing in some obscure name isn't going to help. Get the greater of two
Ted
evils out.
Alberry.
If 4 times we don't like 4 hours, we don't like the lesser of two evils, then get him out of office. We have the ability, but for people saying I'm not going to vote, I'm going to vote for this person, I'm going to vote for that person, you are not helping at all. At all. You're not doing us any service, any type of service. You're doing us a disservice. Because Trump loyals, you better believe they're gonna be out there voting for him.
They are.
They're gonna be out there voting for him. And if we can't have enough common sense to say, okay, hey, I gotta drink this little bitter tea for a little while. Joe Biden may not be my favorite person, but if I can get Trump out of there, put Joe Biden in for 4 years, Joe Biden don't have to run. He don't have to. He don't have to run. He don't
He
have to
might
run.
not even make it.
Yeah,
Let's stop. Come on, don't make me laugh.
enough.
Don't
Man,
make
I'm
me laugh.
so man. It's,
Yo,
if he gets back in, man, it's the Democrat Party man's fault, man,
it is.
for
Yeah.
the second term, second election, we failed to really put a
The
bright star
the voice of the people.
um
Yeah,
and
what the people want.
on the ballot,
Yeah.
and we need a movement, and that's one of the things that I think this Black Lives Matter and this pandemic, just the carelessness and the recklessness with the citizens'
Yeah,
health. Can you
yeah.
imagine that no country in the world wants Americans to come visit?
That's a slap in our face. Like that's
Can you
messing up my whole.
imagine?
That's
But
messing up my
what
whole
did they
summer.
think of
My
us?
summer plan. My summer plans have been put in jeopardy now. I got deposits already out there in the world. Thank you, Sophia. Shout out to my sister. I got deposits out there in Neverland. I might not even be able to cash in. Like, what's going on? Like, let's good.
Like
Let's
we're
be
the
real.
laughing stock of the world.
Hey,
And
but
I always like to
I
put,
just
I
want
always
to
like
say
to
this.
end it like this.
I just
Go
want to
ahead.
say this before you end this. That your boy do have I do have another passport that says a different country on
Canada.
here. Holler back at your boy.
Listen, so I was painting like this. Can you imagine the uproar that would have come from the right if this was happening under Obama's watch?
Yeah.
Can you imagine if Obama was saying
Oh
every
yeah.
day, if Obama said every day, oh, it's just going to disappear, or it's not going to be that bad. Oh, kids are immune. It's only a small percentage of them who would die. Can you imagine when they got mad at this man for wearing a tan suit? Can you
Yeah.
imagine this happening under him?
A
It's
little
my
Yeah.
vacation. A little vacation. And Trump play golf.
Can we just
yeah,
go to
exactly. He kept saying Obama plays golf too much, and he's played 10 times as much golf as Obama.
brother? Can I just say this? I want to just say this, Croc Kicks. I think you and I both agree that Ted, like we think that
Yeah,
you're
yeah, yeah,
awesome.
yeah, yeah.
You're awesome.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you're awesome, and this is a
Uh-huh.
surprise to you
Very,
because you don't even know
very,
what we're doing. You sit here about to smile, like we got you as the entrepreneur of the day. Like real talk, I had to go online to get this picture. This picture does you. I did some edits to it. I did some Photoshop to it to make you look better than you really do. But at the end of the day, real talk, like I don't know if you want to talk about it, but you and I just talked recently, and I'm sitting here, I'm in amazement. Like, this brother has a 9 to 5, and he's working outside of his 9 to 5 to do his business. But then you share with me that you took a leap of faith, and that to me was even
There
crazier.
was a lot of Photoshop on that picture, man.
Yeah,
He
it
did an
was.
amazing job on that.
Yeah, it was. Made him look good, right?
haters
Um,
gonna hate.
I touched up his beard. You feel me? All right, let's go. So real talk. Like, and then you took a leap of faith that to me was even greater than having 2 jobs. That you just put all the chips on yourself, and I just wanted you to kind of just talk about it for a little bit if you want to. But definitely, we want to highlight. We care. First call transportation.
Man,
I gave them a shout out. I gave them a call. I needed them to do some work for me, and I was sitting here upset that I didn't receive no return email. Then they said go back in your email. The same day that I called, I had an email already waiting for me. I was so shocked that it happened so fast that I couldn't believe it. So these guys are professional. They're top. They're A1. And like literally, AJ, I've known you since we were kids. And like I said at the beginning of the show, I meant what I said. If I had 1/3 of what you had, I'll be 46. I'll be running for 46 right
Yeah,
now. Real talk.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, I can't take all the credit. I mean, it's actually four of us. Is my wife, our good friends BJ and his wife. We came together and put this together. So we've been blessed, man. So we started in September. We ran into some road bumps. We had put together a nice business plan. Had financing work and everything that fell through. We had to figure out Plan B. And then we got on the road. We got everything improved like in March. Got on the road, had the driver going, and then COVID hit. So when COVID
Mm.
hit, what people don't understand is in the trucking industry, people were used to getting close to $2 a mile for going anywhere. When COVID hit, you're now looking at people getting under $1 a mile. Um, for most of those,
Ted, I'm
huh?
sorry because I didn't ask the question correct. Can you tell them what it is that you're doing as well? Because you talk
Okay,
about a
yeah.
dollar a mile, they may not know what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, so we have a transportation company, and right now we focus on what we call final mile delivery. So we take things that are shipped to warehouses, and then we deliver to people's homes. And then we also have a courier service part of our business where we deliver stuff like Office Depot. Our final mile delivery, we're delivering for IKEA. So anything that comes within Central Florida, we deliver for IKEA to homes. Our courier service, we're delivering for Office Depot, Staples, Walmart Pharmacy, Winn-Dixie Pharmacy, stuff like that. Our initial plan was we had a truck and we were going to put it over the road, which is them going out every day delivering. That's why I said initially, before COVID hit, people were getting $2 a mile. Now, people are getting under $1 a mile. If you know
Mm.
anything about trucking industry, most of your drivers are making about 55 cents a mile. That's just 45 to 55 cents a mile. Then on top of that, you got gas, you got tolls, you got everything else.
Insurance.
And so in Florida, And in Florida, anything about commercial shoes in Florida, it is one of the highest states. Florida, New York, I think California. So on top of that, you got all those bills. So if you're making under $1 a mile, you're paying your driver 45 to 55 cents a mile. That leaves you 45 to what 55 cents a mile that you're profiting. If you add it up, that just doesn't make sense. And so, that sort of took a toll on us to where there weren't any routes coming out. We were down for like maybe I think a month or two, if not more than that. And then we just started trying to, finding other options, and we ran into a couple of contracts, which we always want to do contracts. And God's just been blessing us, man. I mean, we had the IKEA people come to us and say, hey, we want y'all to put another truck with IKEA. And then the guy asked me,
Mm.
he said,
Mm.
I know you all are doing courier vans. He said, we're getting ready to take over some parcel services. Would you mind bringing your vans over to us? So, man, I mean, God just blessing, man. Doors are opening.
Can I just say this though? One thing that remember that you're my member, so I need to see some of those blessings that God has been blessing you with at my church. Real talk.
Yeah. So we're in the process, man. We got to hire. We're in the process. We're gonna have to hire like at least 2 to 4 more people. So, we're just thankful, man. I
Y'all
mean,
need any virtual employees?
so I mean, the road not easy. It's still not smooth sailing, but we're just thankful that we're on this side of the struggle to where we are seeing profit. So that's a good thing. So
There you guys have it, folks. We Care First Call Transportation Services. You can look them up on Instagram, Facebook. They have a website. You can look on Twitter, all of that stuff. And if you can't get to them, get to me, and I'll make sure to connect you with Mr. Anthony
Absolutely.
AG, with Anthony Julius Alberry Jr., with Brent Walden, and the entire gang.
I haven't gotten a green light to say this, man. I'm just in the movement, in the moment. To our audience, perhaps you all have some businesses, and you would like for us to highlight or put a spotlight on you, man. Just slide into the DM, and
Well, they got to be
and
careful
send
now.
us.
Slide into the Kickinit316 DM. You feel me, fam? And
yeah,
Kicking it
Just
316
send us
DM.
a
All right.
message. Send us a message, and we'll get in contact with you all and hear
definitely.
about what your business is, and we'll love to highlight it. God has blessed us to about week in, week out, man. We're getting about 1,000 views,
About that. A
1.1.
little bit more than that,
Yeah,
yeah.
so God is
Mm,
blessing us. He's growing the platform, and it's all because of you all. The likes and the shares, the
Keep sharing,
comments.
keep
It
liking.
really goes a very long way, and we're so grateful for you. All right, shoe share.
Yeah, that's you.
Shoot, share.
It's,
It's
it's
your
on
week.
you.
It's my week, man, and this shoe. Some of you already saw me reach back and get it, man. This shoe is very dear to my heart.
Mm.
It's one of those shoes that recently started my me wanting to buy shoes. I know a lot of people think I've been buying shoes for a long time. I have a very modest collection here,
Mhm.
and this pair of shoes really did it for me, and is dear to my heart because I bought this shoe while I was in around the time I was in New York, visiting my grandmother. Um,
Mm.
yeah, these are the Space Jams. These are
Mm.
Jordan
Okay,
11
okay.
Space Jams. Iconic patent leather. The black on black is a must.
I
As
miss
you can
mine.
see, the
Dang.
oxidation. Yeah, it's I've had this shoe for a little while.
They
But it's
hot.
still a hit. It
It's a
still is a
hit.
hit.
It's a hit.
Um, yeah, fully legit. And what I like about this shoe is when the light hit the ice, it twinkling, glistening. That patent leather, man, is something about the patent leather, man. So yeah, these are Space Jams.
That's
And
one shoe I wish I had in my collection. I
yeah,
don't have in
Yeah,
my
that's
collection.
one show I wish I had still in my collection. Can you believe that I misplaced my Space Jams? That's
tell the
crazy.
people where you got yours from.
I got mine from actually was it Italy or Spain? I got mine in Italy. So the
Yeah.
joke was I wanted to get them in America, and Shay was not Shay Croc Kicks because Shay's actually a good
It's
guy.
all
He's a
good.
pastor, but Croc Kicks is a rambunctious type of dude. He's like, yeah, I got these shoes and they sold out. You can't get them. You can't get them. So at that time, I'm actually on vacation. We were in Italy and in Rome, and so I said, let me go check out. And believe it or not, they have Foot Locker in Rome. So we go to Rome, and the shoe culture is not as big as it is in America. So we're there, and there's like a whole bunch of shoes for sale. So I actually caught one, and I told Croc I got it. He didn't believe me until I showed up back
Yeah, yeah.
to
I
Florida.
was hurt. I was hurt.
Yeah,
I'm a bit of
yeah,
a hater, y'all. I'm a bit of a
yeah.
hater when it comes to shoes. I ain't gonna lie. I want them, and I don't want nobody else to have them.
Yeah,
So
Croc
I'm being.
Croc kids will tell you, I'm not gonna get the shoe, I'm gonna get the shoe, and then next thing you know,
He has the shoe.
he
He
got the
has the
shoe.
shoe. Hey, to be honest with you, I really believes he has the sales. He probably has them somewhere in the back. He's
No,
not trying to
brother.
show
If
nobody.
there's no way I can wait. I would have posted. I would have posted.
Whatever.
Immediately.
The guys, hey,
Immediately.
this has been one of our
Expeditiously.
this has been one of our longest shows. I think one of our better shows, but it gets better. We have some guests that hopefully coming through in the next couple of weeks. We have I can't give you a name yet, but we have a theologian who's going to come in. Is going to talk about the
Great man of God.
church, and talk about these Far East religions. And I can't wait for him to come on. He was my professor in seminary, and Croc Kick's professor. Anthony didn't go to the seminary. He wasn't blessed, but had he gone to the seminary, he would have been.
I'll let you have that.
He would have been his teacher as well. So we have a few people coming up. We want you to continue to share our show, share our platform, continue to I guess, Ted, what are we on now? Like, give us all the information.
So don't forget, Facebook, Instagram, Kickinit316. You can go on YouTube to watch us Kickinit316. You can watch our episodes and any shoe uploads that we put up. I know there haven't been any in a while, but we still want to build our audience over there. We post our weekly show. Every show that we do on Monday nights, we post it on there. For those who want to go back and rewatch it, you can do that. Also, in addition to that, we are on a podcast. We are on Anchor. We are on Google. We are on Spotify. We are on Pocket Cast.
Okay.
And one more phone dial, so I can't tell you what the other one is, but you can find us, man. Just type in Kicking It 316, you can find us. So please make sure, if you can't watch us on Monday nights, you can go back and watch the rebroadcast. You can listen to it on podcast as well. So there are a million and one ways to reach out to us.
Hey, Joe, next week we'll put those shoes up. The J. Cole Pumas, Croc Kicks. Can we just make a note of that?
Absolutely.
So we'll talk about those. I think those are hot, to be honest with you.
They clean.
Yeah, they clean. So we'll work with that. So I don't know what else needs to be said, but
Man,
we had a
that's
blast.
it, man. Let's thank the people, man. Who wants to thank them, man?
That's you, moderator.
Man,
That's
big,
you.
big thank you to each and every one of you all, man. You all hung in there and kicked it with us. We're grateful for it. Every viewer, every comment, we appreciate you all. We love you all, and we can't wait to next Monday when we kicking it 316 one more time. Remain safe, y'all. Mask up, and we out.
That's it.